So not everyone should be an entrepreneur, but I encourage people to explore new things. And in this big, bad world that we're living in, why not give it a try? Yeah.
And also, we encourage people to have multiple income streams.
Yeah.
So even if you decide to have your full-time job, you should still be thinking, how do I have an additional income stream? You can't be relying anymore just on that one salary. So it's about just really thinking, how can I diversify my income?
Yo, people, welcome to the Bread and Butter podcast. You're here with myself, Tayo.
And myself, E-Man.
And once again, we're in the building filming live from Dubai. You liking the Dubai episodes, yeah?
Yeah, they're nice, bro. Can't complain.
I've been getting a lot of good feedback from the episodes recently, so big up you lot. Keep making your comments, liking, sharing, and subscribing. But we've got a special duo in the building today, right? I don't think we've had another couple other than the wives, have we?
No, I don't think we have.
So this is a premiere. This is a premiere. We've got a power couple in the building. People that have been known in our space for a very, very long time. Guys, we've got Byron and Bianca in the building. Welcome, guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for having us.
I feel privileged. The only other wives and partners that get invited. This is good.
I think so. That's the case, isn't
That's
it?
facts.
That's the case. That's the case. How you guys doing today? Good?
Well, first of all, I think I've got a bit of a bone to pick with y'all.
Go on.
So I went online, said, let me check out the podcast. I see everybody I know.
Can never be.
I said, yo, B, did you get an invite?
I said no.
I said, how come this invite took so long?
I don't know. It's personal, bro.
We need answers.
Yeah, I could answer it.
Go on.
I could answer it. So this is good as well. I'm glad you addressed it because there's going to be people watching feeling the same thing, innit? So when we launched the podcast, Iman and I do loads of content, TikTok, LinkedIn, YouTube, everything. So we said, when we launched this podcast, how can we make it different from everything that we do elsewhere, right? The answer was, we want to get people that are not in our space to come and talk about money. So a hairdresser to come and talk about money. I don't look like hairdressers. People that are teachers to come and talk about money. But we do put our people that are in our space in here and there as well.
No. That's what everybody I know.
It was a good story, man. It was a really story.
Everybody feels that way.
Everybody I know is in there.
Everybody feels that way. Everybody feels that way.
It's a
I
half
said,
good.
when it's you always feel that everyone I know is there.
It's all right. Thank you for having us.
No worries. One thing we ask people when they come on the podcast all the time is, what is your bread and butter? So maybe do it individually and collectively as well.
All right.
What's your bread and butter in terms of what? Just like business, money, what?
Exactly that.
Everything.
What puts food on the table?
I'll let you go first.
Thanks, darling.
That's all right.
All right, let's talk collectively first of all. So, for those who are not familiar with us, we are award-winning entrepreneurs, Sunday Times best-selling, Forbes featured authors with 2 largest publishers in the world, and our joint businesses are about mentoring and consulting. So we typically teach people to do things that we have done ourselves very successfully.
Okay.
So that started off with starting, growing, scaling businesses. That then went to helping people become published authors. Now we're in the space of helping people unlock their voice and potential from the stage by becoming paid professional speakers. Obviously, Bianca's been a speaker for more than a decade. I've been managing her career with the biggest brands in the world, Facebook, Accenture, PwC, EY, doing deals internationally, traveling internationally, etc. So we now help the same groups of people, founders, entrepreneurs, do the same thing, unlocking their voice from the stage and getting paid in this multi-billion-dollar industry. So that's a short synopsis.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And then individually?
I guess to add to that, so I have a boutique personal branding agency. So I've been traveling around the world for the last 15 years, delivering personal branding for big corporates. So the brands that Byron already mentioned. So I go into organizations and I train their talent on how to build their personal brand, their communication, their confidence to help them to accelerate their career trajectory. But I also work with founders. So when I'm working with founders, I'm literally curating their story, helping them build their story, build their visibility, credibility on and offline. And so I spend a lot of time helping founders understand who they are, what they sell, and how they can communicate that to their audience.
That's amazing. I've got so many questions already. I don't know if I should go straight into them. Eman's being bare shy. Like, Eman didn't say a word in like 5 minutes.
You've seen him for 3 days in a row now. So, you know, he's bored of us.
I'll let you get off. I literally
It's
with him the
only
last
5
2 days.
Last 2 days together.
Like, bro, see you guys again?
So yeah,
I want to go back to like your original story, how you began, but there's 2 questions I want to ask before we get into it. And it's kind of jumping the gun a little bit, but what's it like becoming a Sunday Times bestselling author? Because that is an achievement that any author wants to kind of achieve. Like, what's the process? What does that look like? When the book gets released, what do you do before? When it gets released, are you watching the numbers? Like, who's providing you the numbers? Just like to get some insight into that.
All right. You want me to?
So I guess say the number. Say the number. How many books you used to sell?
So first of all, what is a Sunday Times bestselling author? Basically, in the UK, it's how many books are sold within a certain time period. Call it a month, right? And on that list are the books that are sold the most amount of books in that time period. So typically, depending on the month, it can be anywhere from 3,000 to 10,000 copies during that time period, right? There's a accounting company, Neeson Bookscan. They count how many books get sold. And your biggest books are on there. You know, your Simon Sinek Start With Why, your Rich Dad Poor Dad. These are what we call category killers. These books will never leave those. And for us, we're all about, first of all, we have a responsibility to be successful with these partnerships and brands that we're doing, because when we come through, we always are hoping to bring others through as well. So we're always like, we're going to do this. And we show the publishers that it's really easy to work. We're really easy to work with. We're really hardworking. We deliver. We go over and beyond, et cetera, et cetera. So that was the first book was great, and technically it's done more sales over time. It's done tens of thousands of copies. But the second book was with Penguin. So we were like, okay, cool. Now let's go the next step. And it wasn't actually my dream or vision. Bianca was the one who was like, no, I want a Sunday Times bestseller. I was like, cool, we're going to get a Sunday Times bestseller then. So we strategized, planned, and how we're going to get these numbers, et cetera, et cetera. And we used various strategies to get the volume, which worked. Was it pandemic book? It was a pandemic book.
We wrote it. Yeah, we wrote it in the pandemic. It was the book was a Sunday Times bestseller, is the Business Survival Kit. So that book for us was always about, like, the first book, Self-Made, was how do you start, grow, scale a business? If you've got a business idea, how do you do it when you don't have a rich uncle or loads of investment? You're just starting your business on your credit card or your savings. How do you do it? That was a bestseller. Then we were like, okay, my goal was Sunday Times bestseller, because that's the most prestigious list in the UK for a book. So then we wrote that book really on the basis that our community were now making money as a result of our mentoring and our book, but they were struggling with things we didn't expect, like imposter syndrome, or a lot of the women in our community were now making more money than their husbands. That was causing relationship issues and stuff. So we wrote that book on the premise, let's talk about confidence, imposter syndrome, how to survive. And then, in the run up to it, we were just working hard. Let's get these sales in. Let's get these bulk orders. Let's do it all. Because, usually books just over time it will continue to sell because of the reviews and so on. Anyway, I remember the day, I think did the publisher call us? Or did we get an email?
Can't remember. Yeah.
All I know is it was like, guys, we're close. Like, we need some more. We're like, okay, cool. What number are we at? Because it's a top 10.
Yeah.
And then we got that call saying, you did it. You made it.
In 2 categories.
In 2 categories.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Congratulations,
So
man.
thank
That's
you
a
very
massive
much.
deal.
massive.
Then we got the newspaper. We were like, let's go to the shop.
Yeah.
Let's get the Sunday Times newspaper.
Yeah.
You still
And
got
then
it,
you
yeah?
see it. Yeah, of course.
I've got
the photo
Of course.
at least.
I say, of course. We moved to Dubai now. I don't know where it is, but it's somewhere.
Yeah.
That's great. That's
Yeah.
great. I'm going to go off on a tangent again. Apologies. I might be
Yeah,
doing
yeah,
this.
go for it.
I want to ask both of you. So, Bianca, you mentioned you took learnings from your first book into your second book and addressed things like insecurities, imposter syndrome, and women earning more than their husbands or boyfriends. From both of you, what are your thoughts on that in general?
How far you want to go?
What's our thoughts?
Yeah, just generally
Go with
Well,
it.
let's first talk about it from the beginning, because we find we have more women in our community than men, mostly.
Every
right?
time we launch a mentoring
We don't know
program,
what
a
it
speaker
is.
program. Yeah.
So
Yeah, I was jumping in and say that I think that even in anything that I do, whether it's events or whatever it is, that is definitely the case. Do we think it's because women are more willing to learn? Maybe men have got a stubborn attitude that I've arrived.
One of many reasons, I think, for sure. And I think the women want a bit more guidance. The man is just like, I'm going to try it, I'm going to do it. And typically, they start faster. We find the men, even in the community, they start faster, they get some results faster. But then the women, when they really start kicking off, they've left them behind.
They learn the process and they do the process diligently, regularly, and the women just
They're
accelerate.
slower starters, but they are higher achievers.
Yeah.
So, we find that there's just the women are more coachable than the men. Just is what it is. Yeah, we don't know what. I can't tell you all the reasons why we didn't plan for it to be a female based audience, but that's our audience, like 93%.
So I'll go a bit deeper into the question I was saying. So, do you think that if a woman is earning more than a man, the man should feel some kind of way? Should he be actively trying to level up? And as a woman, if a woman's with a man and she earns more than him, is there any particular way she's supposed to feel as well, basically?
I think the women outgrow the men. That's why there's some challenges. And I think that's why there's challenges in the relationship whereby the synergy's not there no more because the women are now out earning the men. I don't know. I think society tells you, and the things that you see online and so on, that the woman should be earning, the man should be the breadwinner, making the money. So I can see how a man might feel a little bit insecure about his missus making more money. She's going out all the time. She's doing this. She's always on a Zoom call. I can see how the man might feel a little bit insecure. Yeah. But let me say this to you, baby. If you want to retire me at any time.
Oh, bro. That's my answer.
I don't, but thank you. Thank you for the
home,
permission.
Okay?
Yeah.
I've got no insecurities. I will be okay. Just in case you needed to know that here.
Okay, cool.
But I can appreciate how it's like, it's not easy for men.
Yeah, I think insecurities is a key word. You've hit the nail on the head, because one thing that we often say a lot as well, especially to the younger generation, like for men in particular, there's a lot of pressure around earnings. And I think that it's very important from a young age that you don't make your identity how much you earn. Because when you don't earn much, you're going to feel like a loser. And when you earn a lot, it's like it can change at any time. Now, this doesn't by any means mean that a man shouldn't earn, innit? But what I mean by that is that I've seen relationships when women earn more than the man. And there's a stark difference when the man is the man because he is a man, not because of how much he earns. Or there's scenarios where it was solely on how much he earned. So when he's earning less, the man turns into a bit of a mouse, basically, unfortunately. So, but I think it's very, very interesting you put that in the book, and it's definitely something that needs to be addressed because society steers in a different way.
We call it managing stakeholder relationships.
Yeah.
Let's say from Bianca, you're the woman in the room.
Yeah.
Let us know.
Yeah, tell us.
What's the question? How should women behave?
Exactly. Number one.
Or how should a man behave?
Both. Let us know.
I think the problem comes, in my experience of speaking to women where this scenario has happened, the problem comes when the woman is out earning the man and the woman gets home and is still expected to deliver on the traditional women type duties. So you're like, okay, you're now working really hard to bring all the money. You get home and the house is not clean, the kids are not fed, the homework is not done. Then it's a problem because you now feel like the men have to. If you're home earlier, it's not about money necessarily, it's about fairness. Yeah. You don't want to work a whole day and you come home and these things are not done or has not been done by someone.
Yeah.
And so I say someone, you might get some help. Like in Dubai, getting help is standard, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's the problem. When I speak to women, they're like, I got home, had a long, stressful day, I paid all the bills, I made all the money, I got home and here's all this computer game. And there's no food. Like that's when it's a problem. So it's just about courtesy, I think. But equally, I don't think, I think a lot of the time men feel undermined. What I hear from the men is that they say women start speaking with more bass in their chest.
You have more energy.
Apparently that's
you
a
have
problem.
more energy, more bass now.
Apparently that's a problem.
Is it not a problem?
It's a problem.
It's not
What
my
do you
problem.
mean?
You're a woman.
Is it a problem?
It's not a problem.
It might be their problem, not my problem.
It's not your. But is it a problem though? In general,
It probably is a problem. But I think it's like, realistically, when a man earns more, no one questions the base in his chest.
You are a boss lady on TV. We see you all the time. I see how you are with Byron. That hasn't changed the fact that you still show him respect. You still that it hasn't changed how much money you make. Not because you get a 6-figure contract, you're not gonna speak to him in a different way.
Right.
But that's not the energy you're saying now.
I said no. What I'm
It's
saying.
true.
What,
No,
You gotta give off the
You got
energy.
responsibility now.
Come on. The women are looking at you
what,
now.
what I'm saying is that I don't think you should. I think both people need to be fair. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So you have to. If you're not contributing, and you're getting home earlier, just be fair.
Yeah,
Don't
of course.
expect the woman to do everything. And I think that goes for men too. If it was the other way around, don't come home just because your wife earns less than you, expecting her to come home from a long shift and still do everything else. You just have to be fair. So no, I don't think you should necessarily have more bass in your voice. But
We got there.
I get they
We
have
got there. We got
Yeah.
there.
no, you lot are beating me into saying what you want me to say. No, this is what's happening.
No, we'll be.
No, you ganged up on me. I saw what
Give a
happened.
response.
You want me to give her a response?
And
You want me to
let me jump in here. The more money Bianca has made,
Yeah.
the more base she's had in her voice.
There you go then. So there you go. So that's the answer then.
So it comes part and parcel.
It's okay. You want to talk about it?
Yeah, it's therapy time, guys.
Talk about it.
It's okay because I can make money too.
And I think that's the difference,
That's it,
right?
that's it.
I think if you both make money,
I was literally going to
Yeah.
say
Yeah.
that. Like,
But if you're not, I can see how.
the amount
pressure.
of money depends massively. Like, if someone's on 40k and someone's on 60k, like, not much in it. Really.
Nothing in it, yeah.
nothing in it.
And then if someone's on like 300k, the other person's on 500k, it's kind of like the roles in the house are normally balanced by external help anyway. So I think what you said is super important. It's just about being considerate. And I think it's about being considerate away from money as well, especially with your time. Time is more valuable than money, innit? So the point that you made, if someone's doing long hours, the other person that may have shorter hours at that period of time should just be like
just be considerate.
and help out effectively.
But then I saw this thing on Instagram the other day, and this woman, she's a stay-at-home wife, right? But the husband books her a spa weekend once a month for her to go and stay at a hotel and enjoy. So she gets room service and so on. He goes and picks her up from the hotel, takes her out to dinner.
Nonsense.
They have a little nice night, and then what do you mean? Why are you
Look at
saying
the
nonsense?
subliminals. Look at the
I'm just-
subliminals
I
she's
didn't-
sending.
I didn't send him the Instagram because he wouldn't have watched it.
Once-
I just want to share this
Once
now.
a month.
For what?
Okay, what do you want? Once every 2 months?
That's
Are you saying that it's not a full-time job being a housewife?
I'm not saying it's not a full-time job.
Okay, so what I'm saying is she
Okay, so
deserves to have.
are you saying that
some
having a
time.
full-time job is not a full-time? So those that
No,
have a full-time
both
job,
are full-time jobs.
Exactly. So then, are you saying
So
that if I
where's
go,
my-
if I go
where's my
to work
weekend?
and
Okay,
pay all the bills,
all right, we can negotiate.
I should
Once
have a
every
one-
2 months.
I understand. We're all working here.
Yeah, he should have a time too. What's your point?
Yeah, she should book him as well.
But men often have a time out though.
What time is that?
They're gonna go and do up golf, or they're gonna go out with their boys or whatever. Men often have time.
That's the Americans. The
I don't
Americans
know.
got better time.
I don't know,
don't
bro.
understand.
These man here, like I know, all my man. When we finish work, we're doing the homework with the kids. We're taking them to their swim clubs and all.
And
that.
that's what I love to see, man.
we're hella active. I don't know about this.
And even my leisure turns into meetings.
Come on,
So does mine.
That's natural.
So
That's
it's
our
like,
times.
Yeah.
more time you're mixing it.
Yeah,
you are going golf or whatever.
Tell me
You're
about
doing
it.
should we do a
business.
dinner? But it's a business dinner.
It's business.
Tell me about it.
So yeah.
I'm on the same page.
You know
with
what I mean?
mate.
So business-wise, have you guys always been in business, ever been employed? Let's take it back to the beginning. What interested you in business and becoming entrepreneurs, and like how did you build what you have today?
We've both been employed,
Oh, okay, cool.
but you've not had
I've
corporate
never
life.
had a full-time job. So
What
I've
was your
gone.
employed doing?
Say it again.
What was your employed doing?
So
Part-time.
when I was a kid, I worked for Phones for You.
Okay, cool.
One of the most pivotal jobs I've had in my life.
Why is that?
So it taught me sales
Oh yeah, amazing.
on a different level that I had no, like if I break down just some of the concepts, first of all, they would say things like, as crazy as it may sound, customer walks in, there are different nationalities, which one do you serve first? Right?
It's back in the day, boy.
Yeah, back in the day. Well, it still happens now because at the end of the day, it's credit based,
Yeah.
right? So who do you serve first? Who's going to get the credit? Who's going to get proof of finance, et cetera, et cetera? Then it's a case of, okay, now you have to control the sale. You have to control the body language of the customer or how you position yourself so that somebody else doesn't come and talk to them. Personal branding. My friends were buying their own business cards. And just all these things that are like, I was seeing from elite people. We were the number one store in the UK. All formed part of my story. And then I learned about credit because my customers were getting declined for credit. So I was like, what? All right, listen, message me after. I'm going to help you and see what's wrong with your credit file. This time Experian and Equifax was not the same. We had to apply for a £2 credit printed report. It was different. But then I was like, okay, what's this? Did you know about this? And that's how I got into credit and helped people with their CCJs and stuff like that. Because it started from that job there. And only as you go on in life, you're like, oh my God, things that I was just doing, just as what I thought was, it wasn't my job, but I was hungry for money. I was making a lot of money as a part-timer. So I was like, yeah, that was one of my most important jobs, period. So that was part-time. I was in college.
You found a payslip the other day, right?
Found
and
a payslip. It was like £1,800 for the month.
I think that's good back then. I can't remember.
You was only
For
working
more
2
than a
days.
decade ago, and I'm working some people,
It's true.
Yeah.
you know, for 2 days work.
I remember.
And we
first
were
week paid
hungry.
well.
We were structured. We thought about it. Like it was a proper job. You know, your managers, like, why are you doing this deal? It's a waste of your time. Just tell the customer we haven't got the phone in stock. Like, you're not going to make no money. You're wasting your time. Like, I think, what? You don't really understand these things, but then you start to learn. And then I was the highest paid part timer in the business.
It's crazy.
And it was like, we was hungry. Like, okay, cool. We used to get clawbacks. How do you stop getting clawbacks from people cancelling their contracts? All right, cool. You make them sign an extra bit to say they're not going to cancel. All these contractual things I was learning. I was like, right, cool. So I can get my customer to agree outside of the agreement. I will not cancel this for 3 months. Get them to sign it. Give them a free headphones, which is £10. Pay for it out of my pocket because I'm getting £60 on the other side if they don't cancel this or whatever it may be. Just these little things, like, it was just like massive. Yeah, so that's where I started. That was like my first pivotal job. Then I went somewhere else.
It sounds like you learned a lot from being employed.
Yeah.
And you've been self-employed for a long time.
Yeah.
So the people that come after you, it's a tricky one, right? Because what do you say, or what is your advice to for people that come after you? Should they jump straight into self-employment? Should they stay employed and learn? Like, what is it that you say to them?
Being an entrepreneur is not for everybody.
It's not.
Yeah. And sometimes there is safety in having a 9-to-5 job, in getting your salary at the end of every single month without fail, no matter what. There is some peace and harmony in that. And it's not
finishing work at like a set ish time.
and leaving
and leaving it behind.
leaving your work behind
Yeah.
you. Yeah. There is not everybody should be an entrepreneur. Can anybody be an entrepreneur is maybe a different question.
Yeah.
But not everybody should say, this is my automatic pathway. Can you make more money? Well, there is some good jobs as well that make good money. But you have, and the dream that people tell you, oh, you can do your entrepreneur life and have this life, time freedom, location freedom. You can travel the world, make all this money.
You can.
Partially true.
It's partially true.
Partially
Yeah,
true.
of course.
But you're going to work way more hours.
Yeah.
Way more hours.
In the beginning, especially, you're going to put more, but then it's addictive, and then you get
Yeah, it's
addicted to
addictive.
it, and then your hustle mindset, and then you see your first 10K, then you're like, oh, what's it like to make a 20K? Then you're like, oh, okay, now you're doing 100K in a month, and you're like,
And you start thinking that's normal.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing.
then it
You
becomes
forget.
normal. Then
Yeah.
you raise the bar, you raise the bar, you raise the bar. So
Josh jokes, it's when people say to you, oh, Rob, do you guys work weekends? What do you not say when you say that?
like every
And I'm
day.
like, when do I stop working? What do you mean?
what I was
Like, on
It's
holiday,
confusing
it's
to me.
not really, your brain is still working.
You
You can't design it.
You man knows that when people ask that question, I say, as you see me here standing here, I'm working.
And work, yeah. Even though I'm
Anytime
talking
you
to
see
you and I got
me-
no phone in my hand, I'm still working.
Your mind is active. So not everyone should be an entrepreneur, but I encourage people to explore new things. And in this big bad world that we're living in, why not give it a try? Yeah.
And also, we encourage people to have multiple income streams.
Yeah.
So even if you decide to have your full-time job, you should still be thinking, how do I have an additional income stream? You can't be relying anymore just on that one salary. So it's about just really thinking, how can I diversify my income?
Yeah.
So
one income stream is not enough anymore.
Yeah.
You mentioned the word hungry, and obviously, I'm guessing that comes part to your upbringing and where you grew up and so forth. Obviously, I know you guys stories, but it'd be good because obviously Bianca had the audacity to, go on the Apprentice, and not just go on the Apprentice. Finish second. She should have won. She was robbed. But we'll talk about that. But Byron, obviously, you grew up on one of the worst estates in London.
Yeah.
Talk about how you managed to now not go down a certain path, and do you know what I mean? When you have all of that around you,
Yeah.
because you've been seeing money, like
Yeah.
not legally, but you've been seeing money around
Yeah,
you
yeah.
from you were small. So how did you decide that actually, you know what, I'm going to choose this path rather than that path, and how did you navigate that? Because there are loads of people that might be watching now that come from
Yeah.
similar environments, and they're thinking, this is the only way that I can go?
Yeah, look, I mean, luckily when I moved from I moved from one council estate to another. I always laugh about that. And luckily I was never really involved in anything. It was around, I saw things. But also, just to fast forward, a lot of that is not real money as well. Let's be real about it. Like, how many successful fraudsters, drug dealers are making consistent real money?
Yeah.
They're not.
Or have anything to show for
Or
it.
have anything to show for it. They have a one car,
One watch.
they even have a house. They ain't got, so it's not real money. But anyway, I always had like an entrepreneurial mindset. And I always, for those who know my story, when I was in junior school, I would buy sweets from the tuck shop. You can only buy by your year. And I'll get other people in other years to buy, and I would become the distributor.
What area did you grow up?
Northwest London,
I knew you was gonna say
Colindale.
Northwest. Why did they say junior and high school? I knew you were from Northwest just because you said
What do
when
you,
I was in junior
what do we
school.
say? Primary.
We say secondary
Primary.
school. Everyone else says secondary and primary school. Northwest
No, but
specifically
before
says
secondary
junior
school is what?
What do you mean before
Primary school.
Oh, and we call it junior school.
And you say high school as well.
And high school.
So that's why I knew it was from
Yeah, but
Northwest.
they
I've
but
never
they
noticed
do have
that
high schools in the
Yeah,
I
yeah,
did
I
call
knew
it
it's
secondary
Northwest
school
straight away.
actually.
When you said junior,
But junior and
This guy's from
secondary.
Northwest.
I call it junior.
My cousin from Northwest, they would say, yeah, he went to my high school. I'm like, bro, why do you not say this?
Yeah, but it is.
Yeah,
I've never
I
noticed
call
that
it secondary school, but junior school I call it. Yeah, for real. So yeah, I think I've always had this entrepreneurial spirit inside me, and like the thing that would get me upset when I was a kid, my mum wouldn't beat me or anything like that, but she'll say, "You're not getting no pocket money." That will pain my heart
Burn you.
more than anything. She didn't need to do anything else. So I think I always had that kind of mindset of just entrepreneurism, and that continued throughout, even to my secondary school. That continued because I would do the same thing. I would buy sweets and I would sell them, and then I would have my two friends. One of them was my best man. He was a bit of a, not quite a bully, but he was a heavy man. He'll protect the assets, and he would sell the sweets and then come and bring me some of my money, whatever. And that's how I was hustling, and it was just like, that's where it started, and then it went on, and I did other things in college and university and so on. So I just always been.
Then it was cars, and it was property, like just
cars, property, and I've always just had that kind of mindset and hustler spirit. And when I look back at my history, and I'm like, I used to read the most random things. Like, why would I read a government manifesto cover to cover? But I wouldn't read books necessarily. But I would read a manifesto, or I would buy the local newspaper and just flick through it and just see, like, is there an opportunity here? And just email someone. Can't describe it. Random. So, yeah.
I love that. And Bianca, how do you end up on The Apprentice? Go back. How do you get to even the mindset to say, I'm going to apply for this? Because we all know it exists, but 99% of people would never apply for it.
Look, I'd always been a fan. I remember on a Wednesday night, I'd rush home from school. My dad would get home from work, and we'd watch Apprentice. That was our thing. So I was always a fan. And then I had a corporate job. Going back to the earlier question, I had a corporate job. I worked at Accenture for a couple of years. Then I went into recruitment briefly. Then I started my own business. And I think it was about a year and a half into my own business in personal branding consultancy. Byron one day was like, hey, the applications for The Apprentice are open. And I was like, cool. And he was like, no, I think you should apply. I was like, no, I don't think so. And he was like, no, babe, like, I think you'd be good. You've got an idea. You should definitely apply. And Byron's very persistent. So he was like sending me the application like via email, text, WhatsApp. And he printed it, he put it on my bedside table like he was on to me. So I was like, what, let me look into this. And so I applied. And then I was like, what, this is an opportunity. And it can go one of two ways. You can get fired or you can win. Like, that's how I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
So went for the audition process. They called me, they said, yeah, we want you for the show. And I was like, all right, then, well, let's do this. And so the rest is history. And then went on there, competed for £250,000, got to the final, pitched, and then that final moment, you find out on the day that you didn't win. And that was it, really.
How did you feel?
When I didn't win? You know what? The hard, I'll be honest with you, I've got the winner's spirit. Like, I like to win. Winning is my thing, right? But I don't know how much I'm allowed to say and not say, but I'm going to say it anyway. In between when you're filming and the final coming out, because everything is pre-recorded up until that final. So you don't know if you won or lost till that last day.
They film two endings.
They film two endings. You don't know. So it's only, so in between that time, you go and meet Lord Sugar, you have meetings with his team and stuff. And it was like, basically, you're going to have to move to Essex. Your whole life's going to move, you know, you have to give up the other business that you've already started. You can only focus on this business. There were so many conditions to winning that it was like, you know what? Whatever. At that point, we were like,
the guy to win as well.
We were like, it's better he wins. It doesn't even winning at this stage.
He's a single man.
He's a single man.
No fixed abode.
He just come from Australia. He had nowhere to live. Like he was.
It makes
if
sense.
I was Lil Sugar, I would have invested in him.
Yeah.
And so, and he had a great idea
It was a good
too.
business. Yeah, it's a good idea. Worthy winner.
Great idea too. Yeah. So wherever he went, I'm not trying to undermine what he did. So, so when I didn't win, it was kind of like, okay, it's disappointing because I want to win.
Yeah.
We play to win.
Yeah.
But it was also like, actually, there's a lot of winning that comes from coming second sometimes.
I was literally going to say that. So much so, and you know that better than anyone, as someone who works in personal branding, right? Like the personal branding, the PR is concluded.
Yeah.
It's
concluded. It's there. Yeah,
you've got the same screen time as number one, right?
Yeah.
It's just
Millions
about
of
what you
views
do
every
with it.
week.
Yeah, and that's the thing, what you do with it.
Yeah.
And I think so many people, you'll see, like over years, there's only a handful of people from The Apprentice we can probably name between us. And that's the difference between the people who leveraged the opportunity and those who just didn't. And didn't understand how to use their personal brand, didn't understand how to leverage relationships and build it. And I think that's the difference.
Can I ask for some key tips? I mean, it might be difficult because it could be quite broad. Key tips about leveraging an opportunity. This is something that I think that I need to get better at, basically. When something great has happened, and you look at it happening on your phone and the time's passed, it happened 2 days ago now. Should I do a post? How am I going to make this? Before you know it, it's 2 years ago, isn't it?
2 years. 2 years, that's
what I'm trying to say. So what is it that, you mentioned that there's many people that have been on The Apprentice. What are some of the things that you did so people remember who you are? Because it's safe to say a lot of people remember you from The Apprentice because you leveraged it really, really well.
I mean, one of the hardest things I think about opportunities like that is the decisions you make when you finish. So when you finish, they just drop you. Like, okay, thank you very much, bye. Like, same as when we did Channel 4, right? They're like, okay, it's done now.
Yeah, gone.
And so it was like, you have to now navigate. And what happens is you get an influx of emails and opportunities in quotes, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? You want to be in this magazine? Do you want to come to this opening of an envelope? And then some people go to everything. And I think we were just really discerning with, where do I want to be seen? What events do I want to go to? And also I had to almost rebrand, because now by some clients I was perceived as a reality TV star. And I was like, that's not who I am. I'm an entrepreneur. So I had to remind people that I had a business 2 years before I went on the show. I wasn't just here on a jolly. And so I think part of the journey is, how do you have clarity over how you want to be perceived and how you add and contribute value. And then you have to authenticate that value by showing up as an expert. So in answer to your question, something big happens, not only do you need to leverage it in that moment, you can still be creating content for weeks and months after that. You know, sometimes we think, oh, it's that one moment, it's that one post. Well, no, there's a throwback Thursday, there's a reflection. Oh yeah, you know, I remember what I learned from that moment when I won that award 2 years ago. Here's 5 things I should have done. Here's 3 things. Like, you can create content for ages. And I think people always think they've got one moment and one opportunity, and it's just not that.
Yeah.
And the leverage is about building trust, ultimately. It's another reason for them to buy from you or work with you.
Yeah.
So you've done something, you might not even need to post it. Because sometimes we'd be doing things, it's just another thing. But then when you're having a conversation with the right client at the right time, say, oh, did you know that we did? You can just, it's just part of the personal branding piece.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Absolutely. I was going to ask, Alan Sugar's right-hand lady, what's her name? Is it
Karen Brady, yeah.
Karen, what, is she actually like really mean? In like, you know, was she kind of, when the camera stopped rolling, is she quite soft? The reason I'm asking as well.
Yeah.
Well, she's like what?
You know what? TV's hard, right? Because behind the scenes, when the cameras are off, it's like everyone's off.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Like, it's almost like they've
everyone
switched
just
off.
wants downtime.
So now she's on her phone, she's talking
exactly.
to her PA, she's probably responding to emails.
Yeah.
So it's not like she's not nice, it's just that she's just doing a role.
Yeah.
You know, when the camera's on, she's back on.
Yeah.
And so I think when you're in TV, you understand that. At the time, you're probably like, oh, she's not even talking to us. But really, she's not supposed to be talking to you.
Yeah.
Because
Facts.
she's not meant to build a relationship with you, because now it looks like it could be biased.
Exactly, yeah.
So I think she was just very like, this is my job. When the camera's on, I do my job. When it's not on. And you only ever saw her on a task or in the boardroom.
Yeah.
She wasn't hanging out with you. So I think it's the role's the role.
The reason why I ask, right, is that obviously she's a female boss, you're a female boss, and I just happened to be watching an interview from some really successful lady, can't remember what her name is, an older lady in America. You know, these Americans are mad as well. Like, when they do their thing, they do their thing, innit? And she was just speaking about, as a woman in business, you have to be a lot more cutthroat. Like, you almost like Iman and Byron could be self-employed bosses and come in and have a laugh. Oh, yeah, what's going on, guys? Like cheery, or busting joke and that, and still be the boss. Do you feel like as a woman, you got to be, unfortunately, just more serious, more cutthroat, more ensuring that people don't forget who you are all the time?
Don't take liberties.
Yeah.
I think it's about what's natural to you to some degree. Like we were talking about this the other day, and I think I'm naturally. I hope I would people perceive this, but I'm naturally a warm, personable. I like people. I like interacting with people, but equally, I don't like. I'm about business, so I don't want people to take the mickey out of me. So when I need to be serious, it's serious. But I don't feel like I need to be. There's a perception that to be successful in business, you need to be a
shark, basically.
A shark, I can think of a word, thank you. You need to be a shark, right? And I don't think that's the case. I think you can be astute, diligent, and great at what you do without being perceived to be a horrible person. I don't think that's necessary, no.
Yeah, I agree with that as well. I think especially if you're doing business with other people, with other businesses, because people buy people at the end of the day.
Yeah.
A lot of the time it's not the product.
It's
I think
reputation.
especially in this day and age as well. I've been telling people that like, this day and age, it's like 60%, 70% marketing and 30% product. Like, by the time you've got the product, it's done in it.
Yeah.
Because people be buying stuff off TikTok ads.
Oh,
do you get what I'm trying to say?
crazy.
If the TikTok ad is good enough, they bought it.
Yeah.
By the time we're coming
They
to the
get it,
house,
they're like, what is this? They even forgot they bought it anyway.
That's what I'm saying.
Some people are addicted to that, innit?
No, definitely.
It's crazy.
But I think you guys have a community. Ty has a community. I have a community. What's your experience with having a community? Because like I see to Ty about it all the time is that since I've stepped into this community thing, it's great for the people that are in it, but there's always that perception of if one thing doesn't go right or something goes wrong, people start talking. Like it's like you're out here genuinely trying to help people, but in trying to help people, you're gonna take shots, and it's like, how do you still be motivated? Because like, you're here trying to do it for the good, and you see the good. Like I've been around your community, I know loads of your community members. Some of them have come to do my stuff and so forth. I meet them all the time. I speak to them. I've seen the growth. I've seen where they come from. I've seen them be shy and timid and not know what to do to now starting up multiple businesses. I've seen them when they've left your community, but they still, they still move with all the stuff that you've taught them and learned. But yet, there's always going to be, oh, this didn't work out for me. It's a scam. It's this, it's that. How do you guys carry on? How do you carry on? You get the same thing as well. Like how do you carry on when your natural heart is to try and help people, but it also feels like as much as you try to help people, you're always going to be tarnished with a bad rush.
Yeah, I can start. Look, I think that a lot of people see what you do today, but they might have come on your page 30 minutes ago, right? And because of that, it's very important to know who you are and always remind yourself that, basically. And you got to start with, forget whatever people think, you know who you are. The reason why I say that is that a lot of it is aligned with my faith. Like, I feel that serving others is something that I've always done naturally. It's always something that's brought me joy in it. And I always give the example, back when I had 40 followers and no one was listening, I was still there, making content that took me ages to film and ages to edit. And this is back when there was no remuneration in it whatsoever. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Or even before socials, when my friend's friend would be like, I've got a friend that I kind of know that wants to get a mortgage. Do you mind jumping on the phone with them? And I'm on the phone for an hour and a half. Do you get what I'm trying to say? It's the same thing today. Do you get what I'm trying to say? It's just more efficient for us. And we've got people that are serious, I think. And let me break that one down in it. Unfortunately, when you've got socials, right, and you guys know it already, and the people that don't know it, you'll learn today, innit? Unfortunately, when you've got socials, right, you've got a lot of people that will ask questions but will not take action on anything, right? And while that isn't their fault, like we mentioned, not everyone can be an entrepreneur, not everyone can be a go-getter, not everyone's going to get the success. When you grow, other people are missing out because of the people that are messing you around, basically. So things have to be more efficient, basically. And some of the ways of getting people to be more efficient is getting them in a designed community, basically, where they effectively pay for your time effectively. But what that allows you to do is it allows you to give them the outcome that they deserve. Because the answer is, right, I always give the example, you can watch 100,000 videos on doing heart surgery. You would not be able to do heart surgery. That's it, right? You need to be next to someone and doing it. And to what you said about people, if there's any disgruntled people, I think that we do what we can to manage that, right? And what I mean by that is that for me, all expectations are managed, and I don't really get that. But even if I did, right, at the end of the day, you're only human. You can only do, so long as you're doing what you said you're going to go out there and do, then for me, it's Gucci, bro. But yeah.
I think first of all, it's like the mindset, unfortunately, of our community sometimes. Not all, but some. And an example I'll give you, and they may have been burnt before. Maybe this is based on experiences or whatever it may be. One of our mentees who has been flourishing, 10K months, doing really well from where she started, spent a lot of money with us over the years, but
it's made a lot of money
in terms of what she's making.
Yeah.
And she said the other day, her term was coming to an end, and she said the other day, I'm not going to renew because you guys have had too much of my money. I know I've got a lot to learn. I was trying to understand how that makes sense, but that was her take on it. And actually, she's a cool mentee. I love her, actually. Then she went away and she came back. We offer some of our mentees, you get to come back for like a taster, like to refresh, as a refresher.
Yeah.
So she came back for a refresher 2-day session, which is no charge. She's like, man, she said, it's not the same doing it by yourself when you're in the community. And I'm not even going to try it and win her back. But how does that mindset make sense? And she even said it. It was like, maybe it's my my scarcity mindset.
I was going to say that, scarcity mindset.
Right? But it's just, and I think sometimes we have that in the community. People have been sold things by families and friends and various other things. And, we're not allowed to make mistakes. Sometimes, we were talking the other day, sometimes the automation doesn't automate and it doesn't send the login details, or alternatively, you put the wrong email address in. Now you're complaining, saying that this is a scam. Hang on, that's good. Is that the right email address?
Is that email address?
No.
Oh, no. It's not underscore.
Well, you know that we didn't. You did
put
that?
it in.
Like, you're sending DMs, you tagged me in. Like, what? Hang on a second. But it's just very interesting. And what we had a really low ticket community recently, and it was started from £8. If I tell you the amount of failed payments that we had at £8, was unbelievable. It requires a whole person to manage this.
To manage it, yeah.
I never knew at that volume it could be. It was crazy. So I think our community is an interesting one. Like, we've done a really good job. Like, we've been doing this since 2017, and we've built an incredible community. People that now come to birthdays, like, some of them are my friends. I've done business with them. I'm invested with them. They've invested with me. So we've built a really solid community. And I think that one of our challenges we have now, which we didn't have before, because some of our events are in person, is it's easier to calculate how much money we make. So before, you could guesstimate. You don't really see it. But then now when you see it, you're like, that's how much they're making. And I think it changes the energy of people.
Tyler said the same thing to me. I remember Tyler said the same thing, that he's actually had other people that have done courses, and when they've said how much they're making, people have then said, I'm not going to buy their course because they're making too much money.
Crazy.
That is a plague.
That is
mad mentality.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Even though they know they need the help and they'll make the money.
Yeah.
Because
I'm not giving him my money. He's making too much.
Imagine some of our mentees are making 10, 20K a month, and some of our mentees have made millions as a result of our mentorship, right? Imagine then you say, oh no, but hold on, you got 100 people in your community. What? And they're paying No.
It's a scarcity mindset.
How does that make sense?
It's a scarcity mindset, like you mentioned, right? And unfortunately, you guys are going to hear me say it again. It's born in the UK, right? The US are not like that. Like, I have friends in the US that brag about how much they've paid on bettering themselves. Like, they brag about it.
I've seen this.
I've spent 170k.
This year.
What have you spent?
Yeah.
And you know what I'm trying
And
to
you're
say?
like, 2?
It's called it's called tall poppy syndrome. I don't know if you heard of it.
No.
I think I have, but break it down.
It started in 2 countries are impacted by this: Australia and the UK. They say that they don't want you to grow higher, so they cut you down. That's the short version of it.
Yeah.
As you grow, they're like, and somebody said this like the other day, and when I come across this, like, it makes so much sense. For example, you have a nice car. We've driven luxury cars. We own luxury cars, Rolls Royces, G-Wagons, whatever. And like, we just have a budget now for people scratching your car. Like, it doesn't get scratched at our home for people who say, oh, we'll put it in a garage. It's not at our house, people. It doesn't happen
When you're out and
when you're
about.
out and about. And they don't know who you are because you're just randomly in central London, you've parked up.
Yeah.
Someone will key your car.
Yeah.
Twice a year, it will happen. You have to have a budget for that.
Yeah.
If you drive a luxury car, and why? For what reason?
Yeah.
And you know when you can see the scratch, you can see they
like,
put the vim into that one,
They got
right?
the key out, you know.
Imagine, like that only. And in America, you brag about, your girl, your car, or whatever it may be. You know, I remember seeing this and didn't understand it at the time. I saw Craig David. And he went to America, and he was like, in America, he's with a hot girl, and they're like, yo man, your girl, she's so, she looks so great, blah blah blah. In the UK, he's like, look at him,
Thinks he's nice
with his girl, blah. And it's just a different mentality.
Yeah.
But my thing is that when it's now $1 million or dinner with Jay-Z, everyone wants dinner with Jay-Z. So you'd pay $1 million you'd give up $1 million.
You'll do that though.
Yeah.
Jay-Z, who you know is a billionaire.
They'll give him the money.
Yeah.
They'll give him the money.
You can do that.
And Jay-Z himself has constantly said, take the million.
Take the
Are you
million.
stupid?
Yeah.
He said, you stupid.
It's not $1 million, guys. It's 50 grand, by the way.
Yeah,
That's
is it?
50k on dinner with Jay-Z.
Oh, right.
Was it 50K?
Oh, right, yeah.
50K, bro.
Take the dinner.
But either
Yeah, you might take the
way,
dinner.
Yeah.
Bro,
How much
Jay-Z
a
ain't
million?
giving you nothing. I promise you the dinner, bro. Jay-Z is...
No,
you know
you
what
know
I'm
what, though?
saying?
Sometimes you just need
One nugget.
thing.
Yeah, it's
And
true.
but you have to already be somewhere for that nugget
yeah.
to be effective.
that's the thing. But
the thing.
But the thing for me is that it's just like we're in this space where, like you said, it's simple maths. If this person they're mentee already, they've made X amount, they've paid X amount. When you do the maths, like for
Return
me,
on investment.
the return on investment.
Yeah.
So I know, for example, if I do ads, for me, my return, it's like £3-4. So if I know for every £3-4 I get, for every £1 spent on ads, I get £3 or £4 back. I need to spend more on ads. Let's up it. I want to make more money.
Yeah.
Because I know I get that back.
Don't decrease it. It doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense to say, oh no, I've given
too
Meta
much.
too much
Yeah.
money.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
because I've got 4 times back
Yeah.
for all that I've given.
Yeah.
So that makes sense to me.
It's all about a mentality reset, really, isn't it? Like, that's all it is, right? And I think that because of like the way that things are in the UK, like you mentioned, the tall poppy syndrome, people are not used to seeing people break that glass ceiling, right? We even look at the average salaries and stuff like that in the UK, and when people start exceeding that, you see on Twitter, like when someone says like my 100k salary isn't stretching, people are
People are
lucky
mad.
you, like
Yeah.
my 100k, who's complaining? Well, it's almost like a footballer. A footballer can't say that my ankle's hurting. They'll be like, oh, you're on 50k a week. My ankle would be hurting if I was on 50.
I mean,
But yeah, like I think it just goes to show, and I think that the basis of what we're saying is that like if you know that like Britain creates that culture, like you need to be the one, if you're listening, to kind of like break out of it and just remind yourself that there is more out there. Eman and I speak about it a lot. Exposure changes everything. Speaking to new people changes everything. For those who've been watching the podcast for since we beginning, like even things as small as, I always used to mention, I remember when my first brand deal was hundreds of pounds, and then I figured that people were making thousands. I was like, okay, cool. And then Eman was telling me about tens of thousands. And once you hear it, you start making it. Then Eman's telling me about 6 figures. And once you hear it, it comes
Now
in.
you know
I'm trying
it's
to say,
possible, right?
it's so important to put yourself in the right crowds, not around people that are in this crabs in a bucket, tall poppy syndrome. You need to understand that you need to be around people that are hungry for this. And one thing to remind people as well, those people are going to be the vast minority.
yes.
And just to come full circle, that's why a community matters. Because
So
when you're in a
important.
community, you're bouncing off people that are all on the same mindset
Yes.
as you.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm trying to say? It's just bounce. Because I always tell people something as simple as buying your first home, because I've got a community that helps people buy their first home. If you don't have a community, you're going to go back home where you were the first person in your generation to ever try and buy a home. And you're going to hear, mortgage means death pledge, man. Why would you want one of
Not
them?
for you. Yeah.
My friend said that to me when I bought my first property at 21. He was like, you know when you get the mortgage offer, purchase price is a fraction of the final price you buy.
Yeah.
And he was like, are you going to do that? And we had the same disposable income at the time. We were hustling together.
Yeah.
2 decades later, he hasn't bought a property.
And the equity in 2 decades. But the thing is, everybody knows that once you say 2 decades of owning a property, so long as it wasn't like a janky flat with something leasehold or cladding, generally speaking in the UK, you hold a property for 10, 20 years. We don't even need to talk about the money in it.
Yeah.
We know there's bread in it. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And it's interesting as well because people battle with home ownership and let's like the alternative is, or people battle with property, right? With mortgages and so on and so forth. And I think all in all, it's just a lack of education. But to go back to the point, the purpose of a community is that these are people that are educated, people that have learned, and people on the same vibe.
I want to add though to that is when you join a community, you have to actually show up.
Yeah.
Come on.
I think my biggest frustration is the people who are then saying, "Oh, it's they didn't do what they said." You didn't come to any sessions. We actually didn't see you. Like I've got someone in our mentoring community at the moment who's also a friend, but she's doing it in a professional capacity. She's like, Bianca, I'm so confused by the fact that the same people show up every week. Where's everyone else?
Yeah.
Because you can see how many people in the community.
You can see how many people in the community. You can see how many people show up. So you can't not do the work but expect the results.
Yeah.
But people, I think they can join a community and it's a magic wand.
Yeah.
And that's almost why we wrote Manifested Action, because people are sitting at home with this magic wand manifestation theories. I'm going to sit here. I'm going to think about the man I want. I'm going to think about the money I want. And it's just going to ding
Well,
dong.
I didn't arrive.
Babe, real talk. I put in the work. I showed up at the club in my nice outfit, dancing in the middle of the club.
Is that how you guys met?
And that's how you met me. So I was
she
manifested.
saw what she wanted. You can
You
already
took
tell
action.
she's
Pause. He took action, came up to me.
Whoa.
So that's how
This
we
is not
met.
how it went.
Right. So my point is, you have to be prepared. And you have to do the work. And some people
put
are
the
not.
work in, yeah?
I put the work in. I was doing Soldier Boy in the middle of the club. That was me putting the work in. And so some people are not willing to do the work.
Yeah.
And so you can't expect results and you're not doing any work. And that's the frustration.
I think it's hard for you guys as well because some people just want to be able to say that, yeah, Byron and Bianca, my mentors. You know how many people I've met? And they're like, yeah, Byron and Bianca, my mentors. And I'm like, I've been on the calls. I never seen you on the calls. Even you don't even know that I've been on the calls. You know how many sessions I've done?
Yeah.
Where have you
Where
been?
were you?
Where you missed it?
You know me from Instagram. You don't even.
You don't even know that you were there.
I don't even know I've been.
Where have you
there.
been?
Like, do you know what I mean? I've got videos on the course. You don't even know I'm there. It's
crazy.
You understand? Like, you just want to walk around and tell people
Yeah.
oh, Byron and Bianca, my mate, but you're not doing the work.
Yeah.
But like you say, it's a small minority, but they're the loud ones.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
The ones who got success and
And-
making money.
We're also human.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you know who you are and so, but you're like, huh? What?
Yeah.
You still like for 30 minutes an hour, you're still like, nah.
Them?
Did that happen? Did they really say that? Did they really say yes? I know I haven't been showing up. I was sick and I
didn't apply for any opportunities.
And,
I didn't send that email to that client.
but
who asked
actually,
me
you know,
to.
I feel like you should just maybe, give me my money back. Maybe, can you do that?
How are we on the refund thing?
What's it like? No, I was going to ask, what's it like working together?
Yeah.
What's it like working together as a couple, as a power couple?
I quite enjoy it actually.
Yeah?
Mostly.
A lot of people want to know.
Mostly. I think we like.
What are you saying mostly for, bro?
I think it's changed recently because B's come back into the business way more than she has been previously. Baby and so on and so forth.
Congratulations,
And it
by the way,
was
guys.
Thank you.
How old now? Coming up to
Nearly
a year?
two.
Oh,
Nearly
two.
two. Yeah. So I took some time out after I had the baby,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
he was running the whole show, and then
Yeah.
I've come back. So
And then and I think before that you had your projects. It didn't need her to be in the business. I think the business is at a level now where I can't do it all by myself. I need her to form part of it. So just to make it, do what it needs to do. So I quite enjoy it actually. It's cool. We do our own thing. We have our own responsibilities. I'm probably going at 1,000,000 miles an hour, and text giving you things that we're doing and you didn't know we were doing. Like yesterday in the car, I'm like, yeah, by the way, did you know we're launching this?
We're launching a program. Okay.
She goes, are we? I said, yeah, you'll get the itinerary. And that's what the team get as well. It's the same thing. So I'm just responsible for business development and revenue forecasting. Where does the money come from? How do we serve the people? How do we give the impact? Cool. That's the plan. This is what we're going to do, guys. And execution. Then, to be fair, like I wrote a piece that comes out tomorrow, actually. 3 people that had a massive impact in my personal development this year, right? And B's in there because she sees the blind spots, right? So although I've come with the energy, I've come with all these weird and wacky ideas and blah, blah, blah. Some work, some don't, whatever. But she's like, B, just tweak that. First, I might resist it.
I was going to say every time.
No, that's cool. It's good like that. Then I go away and I'm driving. I'm like, that's a good idea. Yeah. Apparently, I come back like, oh, by the way, babe, don't you think we should be like, do this
his idea.
I think I have like
I told him the idea. He resisted it.
And she said it a few times.
Yeah. Calls me back and like, babe, I thought something.
She I said that. I said, yeah, he didn't say it like that.
My head will be on Pluto.
No, but I quite enjoy working together, and we're very, very hardworking. I think someone asked me this question. I think the fact is, because I'm not lazy, because I'm hardworking, because she knows we have objectives, we're trying to achieve certain things, both for us, our legacy, our community. She just allows me to be creative, make mistakes, grow. Because ultimately, over time, I'm sure if it wasn't working over time, you'd be like, yo, what are you doing? But generally speaking, 9 times out of 10, it goes in the direction.
Is like that, right?
You got to be in the game.
You got to be in the game.
You have to be in the game.
Yeah. You got to put your neck on the line.
Failing is going to happen. By the way, you got trying to say there's big ideas. Like sometimes we were talking about it in the last podcast. There's businesses that I just remembered that I tried and failed. Right?
Forgot about.
It's crazy, but you need to be in the game. But the longer you stay in the game, the more chance of success you have.
But it helps, though, isn't it? Having like with B around, like she's so sick at the way her mind works is crazy. It's like, and it's so quick. Like you'll say something, and she'll just be like, "Well, have you thought about?" I'm like, "What's going on here?" Like the way she does it, and it's so nonchalant. She's just like, "Yeah, I think you should think about doing." Okay, boom, I'm running. I'm ready. The second she says it, I'm running. Sometimes I might just say something random, just let's see what this brain thinks. Let's see what comes out, because every time so far it's made me money. So I'm trying to hear it. Whatever she says, I'm trying to hear it.
I'm not gonna start taking commission.
Start billing.
No. The way you're telling me these stories,
because we still have to pay for your time when you do our training. What's going on?
I put it out here to the people. That's what I'm letting people know. It's worth paying for. Of course.
But also, people don't see, like, whilst we're skilled in marketing, sales, and so on and so forth, because we've mentored over 1,000 people are missing something. We are also seeing the bits that are working in their businesses, how their businesses are most effective. And then we add a piece on, they're making more. So we've got knowledge in every industry possible. What's the best way to do this? What's the best way to do that? And fundamentally, the principles are always the same. But like people don't, like, it's not that hard.
But that's the thing about being an expert. It's like I say the same thing with my financial advice clients. Like what you're going through for the first time. I've literally done this for thousands of clients over the last 20 years. So you're not just getting what the book tells me or what I've learned and studied and qualified for. You're getting practical experience of me helping other people do this already. So I already know it's going to work because we've done this multiple times in the past. Even though for you, this is the first time you're buying a house. This is the first time you're investing. This is the first time you're starting a business.
I've seen someone like you. I've seen someone that fits your exact profile.
So when people are like, oh, do I need to prepare for your call?
No,
you don't. Just come on. I've done it. I've done it.
Just come on and commit.
Just come on and tell me what you're...
do what you said.
And I will tell you. And if you do what I tell you to do, the result will be...
Exactly. I think that's a great point. But I also like what you said as well, which is that you were saying that it's important to learn from others as well. I think one mistake a lot of people make is that they think they can stop learning. Or they think that
there's a certain amount you can learn. Like, never ever.
You can be a teacher and a student at the same time. It's even best to be a teacher and a student at the same time. Like, I always tell people, perfect doesn't exist. 1% every single day. Like, you can never stop learning. Like, in the last 2 months, I've been exposed to stuff that I wasn't aware of, and it's like, raw. This can really be a game changer, innit? And I just think it's so important that you need to be around people that are always willing to keep on improving. Once you think you've arrived, that's where the danger starts seeping in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But question,
What's the most you've ever spent on personal development training program?
5 figures.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think 13,000 is the most I spent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dope. And yourself?
15K.
Yeah.
And it proved.
I think now it's like it's more expensive to get in the rooms that you want now. You know, like once you hit that, I feel like once you start spending 10K plus, you're like, okay, well, what's the next bit? And I think those rooms are like, that's where it gets to 25K, 50K, 100K. And interesting. One of my mentors, she just spent 100K for one day.
Chai.
Yeah.
Was that in America?
She flew to Vegas. She flew to Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
but
do a lot of them things in
one
Vegas.
day.
sometimes it's the one tweak. It's the one
tweak.
tweak that you just don't know about.
Yeah.
But now it just unlocks just all this new money. Do you know what I mean? All this new
Just
potential.
one idea that's relevant to your business now, bang.
And
All
just
day.
paying to be in a room. Like I've been in rooms where you don't know award ceremonies, Black excellence dinners, these things. You don't know that anything's going to come of it, but just by being in the room, the amount of clients I've had just by being at events, talking to people.
Yeah.
One of my biggest clients last year, I met her in the toilet at an event. Like you just don't know. And so that's what I'm saying about being in the room. So if you're going to be in the community, go to the events, speak to people, because people
so interesting you
pass
say that.
opportunities between each other. Even in our community, people have offered speaking opportunities they can't do because it's not their topic to other people. That's what community is for.
Yeah.
And I think people are afraid to do that and to share.
I invited someone to the last mixer at the members club that we went to. Someone here in Dubai. I was like, come to this mixer. I know you're trying to find clients, blah, blah, blah. And then she was like, really qualifying the event. And I was like, okay, cool. These are the types of people. This is where it is. And also, I'm inviting you. You know what I'm about. Come to this event. It's going to be great for you. Let me have a think because I'm not sure. And
Forget it. I'm not trying to persuade you.
I'm not trying to beg you.
No.
And I think sometimes people want a direct transaction as a result of going to some events. And sometimes you got to go to 4 rubbish events to go to one good one where you find one great client. And I think sometimes people just be too transactional when it comes to like relationships.
Are you going to directly introduce me to that?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
but you're going to be in the room and you can
make your
meet
own
the
way
people.
or meet your own
Yeah.
people or make new friends who might know somebody else
Yeah.
or whatever. So it's interesting.
I agree with that completely. I think that just generally speaking, I always mention to people that you have to just be willing to do things that other people don't normally do or aren't willing to do. And whenever you do that, it's not always going to bring a result straight away. It's not binary. It's not 1 + 1 = 2. But you do it enough times, you're going to get that joy that you want. I know we're running out of time, which is crazy because it's gone quickly. One thing we always ask people is that, what's the W and the L of your journey? The cream and the crust, if you will. You can do it individually. What's like the euphoria
the
moment?
win and
the loss or the lesson?
in business or in life?
Just in life, in life.
Both, whatever comes to mind.
Ooh,
When you think of your
it's
biggest
a big
W, your
question.
biggest L, what do you feel like that is?
It doesn't have to be your biggest, but your biggest that comes to mind right now.
Like whatever comes to your head.
What you got?
biggest lesson right now, I think, has just been this buying a property here thing.
Yeah.
That's been our biggest
Oh my God.
loss lesson.
We're litigating.
Seriously?
So we can't talk about it too much.
Yeah.
But we've got buying a property hangover in Dubai.
Yeah.
So I want to know what
So
he
had I known,
No, maybe
it's hard,
not.
you can't go
Yeah.
you can't go
Yeah.
backwards.
Yeah.
You can't talk about if you knew, but
Yeah, it's the best.
Yeah,
Better not to talk about it.
yeah. So that's that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my. What's yours? What's your
Yeah.
lesson?
So I think that's probably like that's more recent.
Probably because it's recent.
Yeah.
yeah, we're just going through
Often
the
I
journey.
think it's lessons, not losses.
Yeah,
And I
always.
think it's like, things don't always go to plan, but you tried. And I think in one of the books I talk about my deathbed philosophy, and I don't want to go to my deathbed and never think, I wish I tried that. What if? I want to be like, I tried it, didn't work. I tried that, learned that. Like, you know what I mean? I think that's important.
We don't have
So-
many losses.
I think, but it's just
All of them
business.
lessons.
They're just like
Lessons.
just
Hey, what about my man driving your car to pick some girl from the travel lodge?
do you want to know what that? Do you want the real truth about that?
That was hilarious.
You know, it was all promo.
Please go ahead.
All right, so
Explain to the people
all
what.
right, let's explain it. Right, I need to do this on my channel as well. So I won't say his name, but I have someone who we all know who's into marketing, and he said, "B, I've got a marketing idea," and I was like, "Go on." He goes, "Basically, see, like Shade Borough, they don't want to promote." They're not promoting
Positivity.
the positive energy. And he goes, the way the consumer works is they want the negative energy, and they're detectives. They'll go and find you or what it's all about.
Yeah.
He goes, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to, there's another girl who does dating banter. So she was like, what we'll do is we're going to get one of your cars. You drive the car and she's going on a date, blah, blah. Apparently she came up with a whole elaborated more story, which is cool. Fine. It did its purpose. So we put it on. I mean, when I tell you, I got the PDF of what it was going to look like on Shea Bro before it went out and so on, right? So we did that. And the way they cropped the image, and if you didn't watch the video, you may have thought it was me that took her on the date as opposed to the guy, right? I mean, first of all, you can see me in the front, but also you can see that the guy's wearing a tracksuit. Like, if you ever see me in your life wearing even a tracksuit other than on a plane, right? Even if I go to you're lucky I don't go to the gym in a shirt, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, it was just hilarious because the comments were going crazy.
Yeah.
They don't put, to make it look like promo, they don't put your name. That's how the strategy was. He said, don't put your name, don't put your tag, they will find you. He was right. 1,000 new followers in the morning. That's Mr. B self-made, DM strategy, everyone's getting a DM. Hey, marketing, boom, 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 boom. Originally it was for our network, Rich Forever Network. But then what I found was the way that the narrative had changed and spun and the type of audience it was, that was the wrong product for that audience. So we had planned the response anyway. So the response had been pre-recorded, ready to go, right? And it's like, it's been a bit of drama online, hasn't there? Like, ready to go, right? And then they post who I am, and the people were naturally followed again. So instead of doing the product, which was £8, I changed the product to CCJs and credit improvement, which was what the audience needed, essentially, more. So that's when I started talking about repairing your CCJs way more than I would have normally.
Yeah.
So all those audience that came in was purchasing that, essentially. When I tell you, ingenious marketing, but you got to be, as they say, internet ready.
You got to be thick,
right? But some people still don't even understand what happened. Brian, you went on a date with a girl. I said, did you watch the video?
The amount of messages I got.
Yeah.
Like,
Did you watch the video?
Yeah.
like,
No, you didn't watch it. You saw the clip?
That's the thing about short attention spans.
Yeah.
So short.
And you didn't even watch the 1 minute video.
Crazy.
Right? So that was that. And so my sister messaged me.
Wow.
People from school messaged me. Have you seen this? You need to take them to court. This. I didn't tell nobody this, right? I didn't tell nobody what was going on. And I was just like, look at this. This is attention. Ultimately, it's attention.
And this is why people do what they do. This is why they do the madness. And
I can see it.
Because it works.
I was like, wow. Now, if you think about this,
but then you're like, is it the right attention? And then it's,
like you got to be thick-skinned, like for it. Because I was like, raw, like people, like, can you not see me, like here, and not like, and also respect. No, I'm not going to do that.
No. But people are talking about it's your character, right? Because you know the type of person that you are.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, it was a very interesting journey. I understand, and he goes, it's only our people that are in the space. He goes, we don't have a Shea Borough in other territories or whatever, right? He was just like,
in other cultures.
It's in other cultures. He was like, but that's the tea. That's what they want. They love this mix up, and they'll find. And he was so right. Imagine they didn't post my name in the first post as a strategy, because if you do, it looks too much like an ad, and therefore, but the people will find you because they're interested.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So that's a loss, I assume.
That's an L.
Yeah.
But it turned out to be a
It's
W.
where it depends.
Yeah, how you look at it.
Yeah.
What's the W then? You got a W before we wrap?
The W for you know what? I'm in a really happy place. We've moved. We're in Dubai. I've got my family, grandma. We're settled. Live-in help. Just little things that just make me smile that I wouldn't have done in the UK.
Yeah.
Because it's hot all the time. I'm just in my shorts, the same shorts I just rolled out of bed with. I might just end up going for a walk with the baby because he's already active. Just the pool is there. Everything is just life right now is really good. And when you're in the right environment, you can be more productive. And I genuinely believe I'm going to be as successful in the next 2 years as I have been in the last 10 years here in the UAE.
Love that.
That's how quickly I think we will achieve success here. So at the moment, I'm just in a really happy place and excited for the experiences, journeys, challenges, and navigation ahead of me. So yeah.
I mean, yeah, I think the move is at the moment is a big win. I think just that making that courage to move country takes a lot, right? And our grandparents did it, and now maybe we're the generation to be doing it. And I think it's just been it was a good decision. So, yeah,
I love that. Yeah, I know we're wrapping. I want to thank you both for coming on.
Thanks for having us.
Me personally, I want to thank you both for just being amazing parts of my life and so forth. Especially you, Bianca.
thank you.
You've changed my life, and I appreciate you. And I like to say on camera, just so that everyone knows, like, you both are amazing to me. Like, always answer my calls and stuff like that. But B gives me like extra privileges that I appreciate, and always pushes me, always sending me voice notes, always like on my nuts. But I appreciate it. Like, it's not, sometimes it's just like I don't know, I'm like, but she's right. So like, what can I say? Like, but it's needed, and you know, I'm blessed. I'm lucky to have you. So I really appreciate you both, man. Thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having
Pleasure.
us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for jumping on, guys. Guys, remember, like, share, and subscribe. Byron and Bianca are going to be giving us some gems for the Patreon, so make sure you look into that.
Where can they find you guys? You haven't even told me.
On this camera, please.
Yes. At Mr. B Self-Made, and of course, just type in Byron Cole into Google. You will find me everywhere. But Byron Cole and at Mr. B Self-Made on Instagram.
And Instagram, Bianca Miller Official, and then everywhere else, Bianca Miller Cole.
Amazing.
Love it.
Guys, we'll see you in the next one.
Love.
Peace.
Peace.